Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, however you're joining us. We want to say thank you so much for joining us today. As you know, the city of Merced has been impacted by a storm, and some homes have gotten flooded, and some people had to be evacuated. And we just want to give you a quick update on what the church is doing. We have gathered a few people to make some sandwiches. There was several people, I'd say maybe about a good 7 people, who ended up getting together at the church at a last minute's notice, and we were able to assemble some turkey sandwiches, and we were able to distribute them at the Hampton Inn, and we were able to minister to people there. We're so grateful for all those who served. Man, what an amazing church we have. Thank you so much. And your generosity, your generous giving was able to bless those people. So although you may have not been there, we were out there, and you were out there, you were represented because of your faithful giving. So we want to say thank you so much, because through your finances we were able to help the hurting. Many of them have no clue how their houses are going to be when they return, but one thing they do know is that there was a church that cared about them. So we want to say thank you for allowing us to be able to be a light into the hurting in this dark season. I want to encourage you, please continue to keep the families in prayer, because all of them are going through unique challenges. Many of them don't even know if they're even going to have a home by the time that they come back, because of the living conditions, and they're very, very concerned. Many of them are still passionate about serving the community, although they have gone through so much. So please keep them in prayer. As you know, we have been going on this journey of overcoming emotions that destroy. We want to say thank you for those who have been joining us online, and we also want to say thank you for all those who are sharing this message with other people, because as you know, we all deal with anger, don't we? So today I want to talk to you about several things regarding how anger affects us. What are the triggers? And there are 3 things that we need that play a role within our lives in how anger tends to elevate within our lives. Some of us could be angry all the time, and others of us could not be angry. So today what we want to do is we want to help those who are angry, but we also want to affirm those approaches that people have that are less angrier. So what we have to know is that our environment plays a very important role on our anger. We know that sometimes we do reach moments within our lives where our stress levels are very high, and the very small things become triggers for us to get angry. So that means that we have a short fuse because of the stress levels that we have. So our goal is if we want to manage our anger, we have to make sure that our stress levels are as low as possible. So our goal is to live with less stress. So how are we able to do that? Well, there's several things. We have about a good 8 things we have to do to manage our stress levels. So one of them is we have to eliminate hurry. Many of us in this society, we live in a hurry. We want things done quick, fast, easy, which leads us to be able to work fast, and all what we're concerned is about getting things done, and in the meantime we're hurting people's feelings in the process. So if we would just slow down a little bit, we wouldn't feel as stressed, and we wouldn't be as sharp, and we would not have such a short fuse. Because if we're in a hurry, we just want to eliminate any obstacle that's in our way. We want to just plow through it, and in the meantime we respond to people in a short way, and it could turn into an argument. So do your best to eliminate hurry. Another thing you have to do is you have to also check your workload too. Sometimes our workloads could be so heavy to the point that all what we do is we're so focused in on the work that we need to do and our work, and we just want to check those things off of our list to do, where if somebody tries to come in and tries to give us, who is asking for some of our attention, we just push them away because all what we're doing is we're driven by our workload. So also, like I said, you got to eliminate hurry. You have to eliminate your workload. If you're in a hurry and if your workload is too heavy, you're going to fail to see the beauty that's around you. You're going to fail to see those who are around you who love you. If you're in a hurry, you're going to get angry, and you're going to get angry very, very quickly. So if you're not in a hurry, well, you're going to be compassionate. Your time is going to be more meaningful. You're going to be more loving to others. And on top of that, you're going to be calm. So just eliminate your hurry. If you have to get to a location and you know that that you know you need to get there and you're looking at your time, I would recommend you just show up 5 minutes early to that location so that you won't feel like you're in a hurry. You could do little exercises like many of us like driving on the fast lane, don't we, on the freeway? Well, I would encourage you, I would challenge you to be able to go on the slow lane, get behind a trailer, and follow that trailer around for a little bit on that far right lane and move over for some people just so that you could just feel for a moment that the world just does not revolve around you. And that allows us to be able to build a level of compassionate. I would remind you that don't live in a hurry. Be compassionate to be people. Take time to be more take time to appreciate those meaningful moments that you have around you with the people that you love. And if you love those who are around you, trust me, they're going to love you right back. So also, you got to learn how to say no sometimes. I know sometimes, and that goes back to the workload thing. I know many times we just want to help people as much as we can, but then there's some times where we just cannot help everybody. We're not Superman and we're not super Christian. So what we got to do, we got to learn how to pull back a little, right? We got to learn how to say no. Because if you have too much work, then it creates too much stress, which end up leading to some resentment. So also, take time to be able to admit your imperfections too, that you make mistakes yourself. You're not always perfect. You're never going to be perfect. So learn how to give yourself a break. One gentleman talked about on the video about how sometimes we just want to be perfect. We want to be all classy. We want to look like everything's put together within our lives. But that causes us to be able to live with a level of stress within our lives that it isn't unhealthy, right? So we got to learn how to admit our mistakes, and we also have to live to accept that we are imperfect people. Also, since we're imperfect people, why not take a good laugh at yourself, right? I mean, we all like to point a finger and laugh at people, but sometimes it would be kind of good to be able to kind of just take a little giggle at the things that we did, right? Because all of us fall short of the glory of God. I'm sure some of us we do things in which we just mess up, and sometimes we just kind of look at ourselves and says, man, you were such a meathead, or you were such a, what were you thinking during that time? You know, when we learn how to be hard on ourselves, which elevates our stress level, right? So I would encourage you, learn how to laugh at yourself as you admit your mistakes and you recognize your imperfections. Another thing is that if you learn how to laugh at yourself, people are going to love to be around you. You see, everybody loves to go to a comedy show, right? Everybody wants to go to a circus, right? Because these things touch our emotions. They allow us to visit some emotions that we don't typically have around us a lot. But in our lives as Americans, as people, what we do is we would be willing to pay money to go to a location so that we could tap into our emotions and crack a smile, right? Because everybody likes to crack a smile. So I would encourage you to please learn how to laugh at people, learn how to laugh at yourself, right? And allow people to laugh at you. It's okay. They'll love to be around you, right? Learn how to laugh. Enjoy life. Don't be so serious. Also, another thing you have to do, the last two things, is be aware of your sleeping patterns, be aware of your energy levels, because when you have less energy, you have more stress. When you're not sleeping right, that's when you have more stress levels. A few years ago, I went to go see the doctor, and I said to him, I don't sleep much, and he goes, you're putting too much stress on your body. Learn how to sleep more. So that allowed me to be able to be more calmer, and my emotional state was a lot more better. So the last thing I want to talk to you is about recognizing once again what is triggering your anger, right? Remember, if you don't sleep much, if you have less energy, then you're going to have more stress. Here's an acronym I want to share with you: HALT, HALT. If you're angry, if you're hungry, if you're lonely, or if you're tired, that those are basically red flags that you are headed towards just not being your 100% self, which leads you to being angry. So I'm sure you've heard the term hangry, right? They're angry because they're hungry, right? So the more fuller you feel within your life, the less crankier you're going to be. If you're lonely, you're going to be mad at the world. If you're tired, you're going to be cranky, which leads to anger. So learn how to take a breather. Learn how to take care of yourself. Deal with the loneliness that's inside of you. We're here at the church so that you won't have to walk this life alone. If you're tired, it's okay. Learn how to take a breather, because if you go too fast, you're going to recognize that you are going to be living a life that's of high stress. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. And please keep all those who are within our community in prayer as we're dealing with